Hey friends, so I'm back with another book review, and on this one, this was really a short, simple, easy read. I think it took me like 24 hours to read. I started like late one night after I finished another book, and then I just finished it the next day. And within that day, I had wanted to finish it like early in the morning, but unfortunately, my day was just like crazy, so I had to finish it later that night. But I got it done, and I finished it like literally last night, and I'm already starting on another book, so I'm excited. I'm trying to like crank these books out as quick as I can because they've just kind of been sitting there and I need to read, y'all. But this was a really good book. I don't know if you can see, but the font is pretty like thick, and you just kind of read right through it. A lot of the information I knew. Some of the information that was in this book was a little bit different from what I've been taught. Just, I know for me, I've been taught your ancestors are your ancestors and it should be your bloodline. And it gets a little bit tricky when it's not your bloodline. And then it's kind of a hard thing to like for people that are adopted, or say, for instance, you have like like maybe your parents, like one of your parents is your step parent or something, and they're not biologically your blood. For me, I have that as well. I have like my grandmother who's not my like blood grandmother on my altar, but for me, it works. And like with a lot of spirituality is what works for you. But I've been taught that it's supposed to be more of your, you know, like your bloodline. But within this book, she was saying it can be your bloodline, it can be your friends, you know, like your church members that have passed, a teacher that's passed that was really you know, impactful like in your life, or you know, something like that. Just anyone that you love is what she gets at in this book. And then she kind of gives some ways that you can do like different little ceremonies and different things like that. What else does she talk about? Like how to like set up your altar, power of prayer, spiritual hygiene. I thought that one was really good. And she gives like some information on like, how do you know when you need to like cleanse your spirit? And I'm like, Lord, is she like talking to me? Did I write this book? Because everything that's been happening lately, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's it. So I'm like, I need to do a little bit of spiritual cleansing, get me some, well, I have sage, but sage myself, I haven't been doing it as much as I can. This morning I did my little singing bowls and all that type of stuff. Some when did I do some Florida water, because I was doing a tarot pool this morning with the shadow work book that I'm working on, and then also the tarot journal that I got to go with my tarot deck. And so I'm just like, okay, I need to get it together. But this book was really cool. She talks about trauma and like how we have our generational curses type thing, and how we need to you know, clear that and help our ancestors within clearing that. And they in turn can help us, that our ancestors want us to reach out to them, that they're just waiting for us, they're ready, they're willing, they are so excited to help us. She talks about calling upon your ancestors that you need to work with, because let's just face it, some of our ancestors were not good people, and they weren't good people here in life, and they may not be good people when they turn over into the next realm. So she speaks on that, and just like, you know, trying to work with your ancestors that you know are basically for your highest good versus just any old body, and setting things out. She talks about a Dunbar supper, which I think is from not the Hoodoo religion, but like Celtic, I want to say, religion. And they just have like a silent supper on what is it, on Halloween night. And that seemed really interesting. I've heard of it before, but she just explained it a little bit more than I've heard of it. And then she's talked about different cultures that have like kind of like Day of the Dead ceremonies. And the thing that kind of sucked in here, because, you know, of course, based off of what I'm seeing in ancestor veneration, because I know a lot of that is to do with hoodoo. I know other cultures like represent their ancestors and stuff, but just based off the picture and stuff like that, I assume that she would have talked more about like hoodoo voodoo type thing. But So I know they have like Fetgeti, I think it's called, and Voodoo and stuff like that. Hoodoo, I don't think really has anything, but I don't know, because I think I've heard of something called like Seven Saints or something like that, or Saints Day, and that could work for Hoodoo, but it's, I think, on November 1st, where I think that it is Hoodoo, like November 1st, where you go to the cemetery, like black cemeteries, and you clean them and, you know, get everything up to date, and, you know, love on the cemetery, love on the people that are there, because sometimes these cemeteries are not taken care of. Or I think maybe it's called All Saints Day. Actually, I don't know, you can Google it, but they do have something that's similar to like it's similar to Day of the Dead type thing, not the exact vibe, but very similar. Or you can celebrate like Day of the Dead or any of the things that she listed in here to go ahead and help and like love on your ancestors and give them the recognition that they need, because in order for them to keep going, just like on the movie Coco, like we need to remember them. We have to like speak to them, we have to say their name, we have to tell, you know, the next generation about them and stuff like that. And so I just thought that's beautiful. The next book that I'm actually going to read too is another ancestor like veneration type book, which is perfect for me. Today is like these videos of course will be out late, but for just the context of this video, today is January 8th, and my grandmother, who's an ancestor, her birthday is on January 23rd. So these are exciting to me. I do, when I'm able to, try to celebrate her for her birthday, remember her on her birthday. And so I'm hoping to be able to do something good and use some of these new, you know, tips and techniques to go ahead and do that for this year to celebrate her. But that is it for this book and all. I thought it was a good book. Lots of information, especially if you're a newbie to Hoodoo, to know how to like, most Hoodoo books do tell you how to set up an altar and stuff like that. But if you want to know like how to do a little bit of the veneration and what you should be doing to try and contact your ancestors and things like that, this is a really good book. Really easy breezy, straightforward. Only, well, not only, but so it's 186 pages. But like I said, the font is pretty big, and then the spacing is pretty big. So then it really goes really quick for me to be able to read it in 24 hours. Basically, like if I wanted to, I could have read it in a day, but I had just started it late at night. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video, and into the next one. Bye.